that proves friendship is the best ship.
Thank you very much. I am here with X-Smithy as well as half of Ruzi in Reckless after a victorious Team Ice here in Tandem Mode. I'm going to go to you two first here. What was the main strategy for the team in terms of picking champions? Was it looking for things that, you know, were going to depend more on, you know, mechanics or less mechanics? What kind of skill shots were you guys looking to hit? Why did you land on Nautilus of all things?
They banned our Alistar. We were going to carry the whole game with Alistar, but they banned it, so we had to like adapt in between.
All right, well, you landed on a hooking champion, and you were up against Mad Life, or Celeb Life, I should say, the, you know, half of a hook master over there. So was there any kind of nerves walking into that lane up against Mad Life, knowing that you're both playing hook champions?
I mean, not really, because when the lane started and we saw how they were playing and how they were hooking backwards, we were really relaxed that it was going to be an easy win for us.
There were plenty of mechanical errors and mishaps that made for the game to be really fun. But now I want to talk about communication, because I've got both kind of halves of the bot lane here. Was there much communication between the actual tandems, or you spent most of the time trying to communicate with Uzi just about what you're going to do with your own champion?
I think between me and Uzi, it was quite straightforward. I mean, it's not so much dependent on what I do on the keyboard when you're playing Twitch. But I think as a team, we were actually communicating quite well. We were even setting up dives at times, even though it's a bit limited because everyone doesn't speak that well in English. But we had some cool plans going into the game and during the game, so it was really fun to play together with these guys.
Now, how does this game mode, I mean, obviously there's a lot of differences between this and a normal game of League of Legends, but we saw a 10K gold lead and still fights are going both ways. So, you know, how do you navigate knowing that you have a gold lead, but the fact that really so much of it is going to be about execution and not the number of items that you have?
Well, it just becomes a lot like solo queue, because we can't really like make super deep plans. So everyone is just like pinging around, like saying like Baron, Baron, dive, dive. So it's like very straightforward, and it obviously goes wrong a lot of times.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that, of course, grabs you guys 50 points, which brings the point totals a little bit closer. Expeke, Team Ice has the lead and more players, yourself included, in the 1v1s, which are coming up next. So now you got to kind of reorient yourself from this fun mode to a little bit more serious time. What are you thinking moving on to those 1v1s, and can you bring home the victory for Team Ice?
I think I still got a few champions that I haven't played yet, and I think I can make it to the semis or finals even. So let's go for it.
All right, that's what I like to hear. Those 1v1s are going to be coming up soon, but for now, we're going to throw it up to the desk to try and make sense of all that craziness that just happened.
Craziness in Tandem Mode. What about your hair? The hair gauntlet has been thrown down. He's won?
He's won. Like,
and you're the man definitely to crown him. So.
Yeah, I mean, he was congratulating me. He was just like, oh, you pushed my boundaries, and then he just brings us out on the final day.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, let's make sense of the game. Let's start with that level 1. It's always fun to walk in the jungle with your friends, but you never know what could be hiding there. Let's take a look. Brought to you by Acer, what happened all the way in the beginning. Boom.
I mean, the action started straight away. 10 people running at each other. Sense is a strong word to make of this particular game. It was definitely style over substance, but the style, it never ended during this whole game.
Yeah, this kind of just set the tone for the rest of the game, honestly. It was just kill after kill, action after action, but we got to see the mechanics of all of the players. Rush Hour 2 didn't have the best of starts to the game, but they picked it up towards the end, but unfortunately, Ruzi was just massive by that point.
I feel like the teams in general, last year we saw a lot of crazy flashes and wrong movements, but here, I don't know if they practiced this during the year or something. Well, obviously they couldn't have because they're on other sides of the world, most of them, but they looked a lot coordinated from level 1 already. I was very impressed.
I mean, the low ceiling picks, I think, helped a lot.
Yeah.
Nautilus, right? The Alistar would have been amusing. The Nautilus is very much the straightforward pick. You have to respect Celeb Life. Going for the Thresh, there's a lot of downside potential in solo queue at the best of times for Thresh, and they made some of it work and some of it went spectacularly awry. But I actually really like what happened in the top lane, specifically for Team Fire, because that duo, you know, Rainover and Smeb, very good friends, used to be on the same professional team. Incredible Miracle a couple of years ago. They've both gone on to much bigger things. They come together, and whatever they said about, you know, particularly Smeb's trash talk towards his friend there, it still worked out pretty well.
It did. The Darius plays, we're going to take a look at some of those. A quadra kill very early on in the game, and you never want that if you're Team Ice.
I mean, it's another one of those picks where as long as you both know you want to go in a certain direction, the guy on keyboard just hits Q, he hits all the buttons. It was like, oh, maybe the ultimate's going to come out here, but as soon as he had that Noxian Might, he just does Darius things. It's a
and when you're a melee bruiser with a reset, you walk up to this fight, everyone's kind of chilling in one banana brush. You're like, okay, it's Reset City, and that's exactly what happened here. Quadra dunk. The last one, he had to use Flash, so a little bit less clean on that one. Very nice hook from the Thresh, and quadra kill, and look at that. Heartening stuff.
My heart is warm.
Yeah, the heart is warm. And like
your heart is ice cold. What are you wearing over there, Sharks?
Sorry. Just repping the ice.
Just repping.
You had a lot of praise, you mentioned it already, for Celeb Life. Thresh is not the easiest champion to play in Tandem Mode, and they absolutely killed it.
Yeah, it's the complete opposite of what Papa Smithy was saying. We saw at the end of that replay, and we have another one here. They were both incredible, because on Thresh, you both have to be thinking about exactly what you want to do. So you have to line up the hook and hit it, and have the right timing, and also predict where they're going. Flay and Death Sentence, not easy abilities, even when you have full control over that champion. And they had insane hook rate and insane hook accuracy.
You're not even talking about the W, because like throwing it out the right distance here, that's another ability you can short if you don't have the mouse and the ability in the right spot, and communicating with the teammates. Not easy to do.
Also, notable mention for Ruzi. I actually thought it was useless, but I think they changed it because it might have been a bit of VM, but I thought it would have worked there well. But Reckless has been tryhard this whole tournament, and it seems like he really found his mate there in Uzi. They had some great plays. Also, a quadra kill in the end, and like Uzi, a couple of World Championship finals, not one, and then Reckless, some World Championship semifinals together. They could do it.
And the AD carries, you definitely have to focus on the person using the mouse, specifically on the Twitch. I mean, obviously the ability is there. Just looking for the expunge timing. It was clean. Uzi was the one on the mouse. He looked great doing it, and they were effective, that's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like after a certain point, just like Reckless was saying, it doesn't really matter what you do on keyboard.
Press
you're
R,
15 and 4, you just go
out.
around right-clicking people and they all die.
Yeah, and the most important thing is Ice walked away with the victory, and now you can join us on the other side of the break when we will crown the 2016 All-Star 1v1 champion. We will be right back.
Rainbow said you're gonna win.
What? I thought he was your friend.
No.
I want to win, but I think you deserve to win too.
Yeah.
Because I know if I lose, you win tournament, so it's okay.
一起互丢，然后捡对面的刀，对吧？往前走就可以，往前走，对，你就丢刀，然后往前走，可以可以。哎，没捡到你的，哎，等下再一次，哎，等一下，不行不行，回家回家，你有2根斧头哎，这翻哥了，这翻哥了。哇，我要输了。 아, 怎么是我赢了？怎么是我赢了？
언제 오려고요?
아, 빨리 와요. 들어와. 아, 들어와. 들어와.
들어가.
들어와.
들어왔어. 진짜 들어왔어, 이거.